and welcome to another episode of IPL Shots. And today I am joined by none other than England's former England spinner Monty Panesar. How are you, Monty? And
Yeah, very well, thank you. Thank you for having me on the show.
so, Monty, did you watch the IPL matches? Both thrilling, nail-biting contest. Chennai Super Kings winning their first match, and then Delhi Capitals edging one over Kings XI Punjab in super over.
Yeah, I watched it. To be honest, I think people in England are finding this year's IPL a little bit boring. It's because we want high-scoring matches. We want 180, 200. It's very low-scoring matches, and I hope today, Virat Kohli can, get the IPL started and wake everyone up because it just seems a bit, low. We're not used to when the IPL starts. Everyone's used to having big scoring matches, and then in between it, the scoring starts to fade a little bit because the pitches are being used, and then they go on to then fresh wickets, and suddenly, the scoring goes up again. And I just hope today Virat Kohli can just liven everyone up. Whatever he gets, it just sort of thinks, yes, now the tournament starts. Because I know yesterday was a great, super over, but even the super over, two runs they needed. And it was just, I think we've been spoiled a little bit from the World Cup and also the cricket that we've seen between England and Australia. In England, we are seeing high scoring matches in T20 Blast. That's on Sky Sports. We're seeing big sixes, and everything. And only it was Stoinis who played a great innings. And we normally see IPL as the benchmark. The IPL is the T20 league that it's leading from all the other leagues. And this year just seems, it's only been 2 games, I know, I'm being a little bit harsh maybe, because we're yet to see Virat Kohli.
Yeah.
I hope today Virat Kohli just wakes the tournament up.
Monty, before we move to Royal Challengers Bangalore, I must speak about what happened in the match yesterday. I think the umpire called a one-run shot, and then it resulted in a Kings XI Punjab defeat. What are your thoughts on it? Do you feel technology must be used if it's available?
Yeah, I think so, because the umpire has to stand a little bit not on the line because the cameras then can get a clear view. So umpire should have used, the technology, and I hope that they don't have these kind of mistakes, in common, because then people are going to sort of scrutinize. So yeah, you can first time have sympathy with them, and I hope we all know Saurav Ganguly has a close eye on the IPL and the standard of cricket umpiring. Everything has to be of high quality, like he is himself. So I'm sure people can, meet the standard of what is required in IPL.
Monty, we have seen 2 great knocks, one by Ambati Raidu in the first match, and yesterday Mayank Agarwal played a worldwide knock, but he was unable to take Kings XI Punjab over the line ultimately. So, what do you think about the pitches and the due factor that is coming into the play? Both the teams have won the toss, have ultimately elected to field first.
Yeah, look, to me, I think the players that are struggling are the young Indian domestic players. They're just not used to on these UAE pitches, which ultimately, this IPL could be a bowler's IPL. Some of the balls are seaming and moving around, and you can just see the young Indian domestic players. They're just not used to this type of conditions. So for them, they put picking some of the balls to hit, which are not probably there to hit, and they may have to readjust their game plans. They're used to the ball sort of back of a length, hip height, and they swing through the line of the ball and try and put it into the stands. And some people are getting caught in the circle because the ball probably does a little bit in the air or does something off the pitch. So that's something they will have to, reassess and think, right, what are our options on UAE pitches? What's a safe shot? What's a risky shot? We cannot probably play like we do in India because, the pitches are different here.
Yes, exactly. So, Monty, let's move to RCB's match quickly. They face Sunrisers Hyderabad. 2 exciting sides on the cards. And what do you think about the match? How do you think it will pan out? Will we finally see a big score match?
Yeah, well, it's going to be Rashid Khan versus Virat Kohli. I think that's the big contest everyone's looking forward to. Everyone's got this huge expectation on RCB producing, probably the first team. Could they get 200 in the tournament, and that would really light it all up. And that's what we need. I think we just need a great innings from AB de Villiers, Virat Kohli, to come at the crease and play a counter innings as well. But it would be a huge disappointment if. RCB don't get a big total, or even if they're chasing, we see some amazing shots. Because in England, I think we've been a little bit spoiled in England with Maxwell's innings in the last one day. That was unbelievable. That is what people want to see, and we have yet to see it. We just seen a glimpses of it by Stoinis, but he was in England as well, and it appears at the moment it'll probably take I reckon it'll take a week for the tournament to liven up. But today, Virat Kohli, we know he's the king. Can the king liven up the tournament? We'll find out later.
Monty, let's quickly assess both the squads. Do you feel RCB are a much balanced side than they were last year? Perhaps they have added the likes of Aaron Finch, Chris Morris, Joshua Philippe from Australia. So do you feel they have a better squad than the last previous years?
Well, I think with Aaron Finch would help. I think Virat Kohli with captaincy. He's so he has to captain the team. He has to score the runs. He has to be in key positions to take the vital catches. He's always in key positions in the fielding to do them stops. I think Aaron Finch will take that burden slightly off him. So they can win on just. How do we get RCB to win games? This is not about Virat Kohli getting RCB over the line. It's about collectively how the team, because there'll be times where, we will see Virat Kohli win the matches. But there'll be times where, when he doesn't score runs, the likes of Aaron Finch, Adam Zampa's in the team as well. He probably knows how, he's been captain of Australia, Aaron Finch, and he can probably just help with the workload. It's going to be all about, guys, how do we get RCB over the line? How do we get RCB, to win the first tournament, to win their first trophy? And I think they've realised that the owners have realised that we need to take the workload off Virat Kohli, because we're not going to end up winning a tournament. We'll end up being Virat Kohli winning the purple cap, but RCB never winning the tournament. And I think they're trying to change that strategy now.
And how do you assess the Sunrisers Hyderabad squad? David Warner is the captain. They have Johnny Bairstow, who has always done phenomenally well in IPL. But do you think the out of form and injuries of Bhuvneshwar Kumar and their other pace bowlers will play a role? Do you think they will be a bit rusty?
Well, I think Johnny Bairstow's played really well in England, and he scored 100 in the last one day. So he's going to be full of confidence, and they would expect him to keep that form going. And David Warner hasn't really been of best form of lately, but whenever they both open together, it's always been the case that David Warner plays the anchor role, and Johnny Bairstow actually whacks the ball out of the ground. So I think that could help David Warner in return, because the pressure isn't on him to score the runs. And they know that Johnny Bairstow is in good form, so let him, go for the boundaries, and then let David Warner find his form. So I think that will be a good, I think one of their sort of strategies, of how to get Hyderabad up and running. And then all eyes will be on Rashid Khan. Obviously, we know he's the best T20 spinner. He's proven that you don't have to be a big turner of the ball, but you got to bowl it quick with pace and get that ball to turn. So that is going to be the key. I've kind of said that Rashid Khan is actually one of the players to look out for, but also Adam Zampa, because he's getting better and better in T20 cricket. But look, if RCB get hold of Rashid Khan today, I just cannot see how can Sunrisers Hyderabad win the game.
And who will you play? This will be my final question, because Sunrisers Hyderabad have a problem of plenty, you can say. They have a Johnny Bairstow, they have David Warner, they have Mohammad Nabi, they have Rashid Khan and Kane Williamson as well. So who will be our 4 overseas players picked?
Well, that's really easy at the moment. We leave Kane Williamson out. We need to play the two spinners. We need to play Johnny Bairstow, David Warner. Them four are 100%, in the team. And then it depends on the form of maybe Mohamed Nabi or, Johnny Bairstow. David Warner's the captain. We can't drop the captain, but it does put pressure on him. If he's not scoring runs, then suddenly Kane Williamson is in the frame. So, look, I think I'll go for them four. And then we see how the tournament progresses for Sunrisers Hyderabad.
And what are your final predictions for the match?
Well, final predictions is going to be, if the spinners of Sunrisers Hyderabad, let's say, are not as successful on the UAE pitches, for example, then I think RCB will win. But you can always see that the spinners are always in the game. We watched the last match and Ashwin, he just came on, took 2 wickets, and I wish him a speedy recovery. I hope nothing major. But yeah, spinners are king of T20, and they have one king in Sunrisers Hyderabad, which is Rashid Khan, and the other king, RCB Royal Challengers with Virat Kohli.
So thanks a lot, Monty. Thanks for joining in. This is me, Shubhayan Chakravarti, signing off. Stay tuned to WION.
Thank you.